James, you can't call for attention and hang up. You called for attention. The phone is still ringing for Bronny. If I'm not mistaken, you said, man, Bronny better than some of these kids I've been watching on NBA League Pass today. It's lightweight hilarious. Crying, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji.
The NBA has seen some wild things, but nothing, and we mean nothing, has tested the credibility of this league quite like what's happening right now with Bronny James and the Los Angeles Lakers. This isn't just a basketball story anymore. This is about money. This is about roster spots.
Oh, Bron, you already said that your son was better than current NBA players. You got your son in Nike commercials and Topps commercials and Beats commercials. You got your son in all types of commercials, and now you want to hang up when the attention has been called for him? You can't do it, particularly, Bron, when you're the one who called for the attention. So
this is about what happens when the most famous last name in sports collides with the cold, hard, unforgiving reality of professional basketball. And the longer this goes on, the more one question keeps getting louder and louder. Has the Bronny James situation gone too far? Before anyone says it, yes, his name matters here. It's impossible to separate the conversation from LeBron James. But here's what makes this whole thing so fascinating and so infuriating at the same time. If you actually slow it down, strip away the legacy talk, and just look at the basketball, the story gets even worse. So let's go there. Start at USC, because context matters, and this is where the foundation either gets built or doesn't. Bronny's freshman year wasn't just a quiet, unremarkable college season. It was disrupted before it even started. That summer, before his freshman year, he suffered cardiac arrest during workouts.
And now to the son of basketball superstar LeBron James. Recovering this morning after suffering cardiac arrest during basketball practice. He is just 18 years old. Molengi is in Los.
Everything stopped. His development timeline changed overnight. Instead of preparing for a full season of college basketball, he was fighting just to get cleared to play again. That part deserves real acknowledgement. But here's where the basketball analyst in you has to step in, because once he did get on the floor at USC, the production just wasn't there. 25 games, 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 36% from the field, under 27% from three, and a plus-minus sitting near the bottom of his conference. A 6'2" guard with those college numbers in a normal world doesn't declare early. Plenty of players put up better stats and stay in school to build their draft stock. Some even go undrafted entirely.
With the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Bronny James from the University of Southern California.
When the Lakers selected Bronny James, 55th overall in the 2024 draft, nobody was shocked in the way they should have been. Because as the same analyst put it directly, when the Lakers took Bronny at 55, we all knew what was going on. That's the uncomfortable truth that hangs over everything. Now let's talk about the rookie year, because this is where the noise really started. 2024-25, 27 games, 1 start, 6.7 minutes a night, 2.3 points, 0.7 rebounds, 0.8 assists. Okay, late second-round picks barely see the floor. That part is normal. Teams draft guys at 55 and throw them in the G League to marinate. That's the system. That's how it works. But the efficiency numbers, that's where the story turns ugly. 31.3% from the field, 28.1% from three. In one stretch, 21 for 69 overall, 9 for 34 from deep. His true shooting percentage sat at 42.4%. For reference, league average hovers around 57-58%. His number was sitting nearly 15 points below that threshold. The noise was deafening. Now, some people pushed back, said give him time, said second-year players always improve, said wait and see. So we waited, and we saw. Year 2, through 29 games, 7.3 minutes per game, 2.2 points, 0.6 rebounds, 1.0 assists. The counting stats, as the same film breakdown described them, were, quote, still dirt. His field goal percentage climbed slightly to 35.4%. There were stretches where his three-point percentage jumped over 40%. His free throws improved to 80%. His true shooting crept up toward 50%. Progress? Maybe. On paper, technically yes, but here's where you have to pump the brakes on any optimism, because 50% true shooting is still below league average, and his advanced metrics haven't moved in any direction that matters. His player efficiency rating sits at 9.6, league average is 15. His box plus minus, minus 3.4, meaning if you swap an average NBA player out for Bronny, you're losing roughly 3 to 4 points per 100 possessions. That's not a rounding error, that's significant. And then there's the number that stops every conversation cold, his net rating, minus 19.
Gotta be real about what we're seeing when we talk about Bronny James.
When Bronny James steps on an NBA court, the Lakers are getting outscored by nearly 20 points, 19 points. Now, net rating gets messy for guys playing in blowouts. Rotations aren't normal, lineups are random. That's fair context. But even with all of that, even being as generous as possible, that number doesn't just raise questions, it demands answers. Let's talk about what the film actually shows, because stats tell part of the story, but watching the tape tells the rest. Physically, 6'2", around 210 pounds. Athletically, genuinely explosive, 40.5-inch vertical at the draft combine. Strong, built solid, doesn't get bullied easily. On paper, that sounds like a foundation to build on. But here's the issue that keeps coming up when you watch him play. He doesn't have elite length. And in today's NBA, as the analysis put it, length is everything on the perimeter. Longer guards contest shots more easily. They disrupt passing lanes. They finish over rim protectors. At 6'2", without elite wingspan, your margin for error shrinks fast. A 40-inch vertical sounds incredible, but when you have no reliable skill set to attach it to, it just doesn't hit the same way. The biggest concern isn't even athleticism, it's aggression, or the lack of it.
I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing his thing.
He's passive offensively. He defers. He swings the ball, makes the safe read, keeps the offense moving. And in a vacuum, that's not a bad quality. Smart basketball IQ, unselfishness. But in today's NBA, if you're a 6'2" guard, you have to make the defense uncomfortable. You have to force rotations. You have to be a genuine scoring threat. Otherwise, the passing windows you create simply don't exist the same way. As one breakdown summarized it perfectly, playmaking only becomes dangerous when defenders fear your scoring. Right now, defenders aren't fearing anything. His scoring comes mostly from catch-and-shoot looks and straight-line drives. He's not breaking defenders down in isolation. He's not manipulating pick-and-roll coverages at a high level. He hasn't developed a reliable pull-up mid-range game. He's a passive offensive player in a league that punishes passivity. Now let's get to the thing that makes this entire debate so much bigger than basketball: the contract. When the 55th pick in any draft gets selected, historically, you're talking about two-way deals, partially guaranteed contracts, low-risk, low-commitment arrangements that give teams flexibility. One player drafted right around that range signed a standard deal with only $75,000 guaranteed. Bronny James, 4 years, millions guaranteed. As the breakdown stated directly, that gap is massive. And here's the part that deserves to be said out loud without flinching. There is nothing technically illegal about it. The contract fits within the rules of the new CBA's second-round exception, completely within the rules. But giving that level of guaranteed money to a player drafted 5 picks from the end of the entire draft, a player coming off below-average college production, is, as described in the analysis, almost unheard of.
Myself looking at LeBron James instead of Bronny James. Because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top 2 greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know. So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more.
This is the real scam, not the basketball, the business. because when you stack his production against that investment, when you look at what a player at 55 normally receives versus what Bronny James received, the gap doesn't just speak for itself, it screams. It's the loudest thing in this entire conversation. Some people will point to Jordan Hawkins. They'll say his efficiency has been rough, his advanced stats aren't great either. And sure, there are nights where his on-court impact looks ugly, but here's the critical difference. Hawkins has played real rotation minutes, real volume. He's been asked to create, to space the floor, to survive in lineups that actually matter during competitive games. When you scale responsibility up, inefficiencies get exposed in ways that are completely different from what Bronny faces. Bronny hasn't carried that burden. He hasn't played enough possessions in enough meaningful situations to even register in the same conversation. So let's answer the question directly. Is Bronny James statistically the single worst player in the NBA? Probably not. There are players with lower numbers, worse nights, uglier stretches. But is he the least impactful guaranteed contract player relative to his role, his production, and his draft position? That case, as the analysis nailed it, is much easier to make. There is no measurable skill right now, not scoring, not shooting, not playmaking, not defense, that projects as even average at the NBA level. He's not bending defenses, he's not anchoring lineups, he's not creating advantages. He's not producing enough in any single area to justify the financial security he's been given. That's the real criticism. It's not that he's historically catastrophic, it's that he's historically unprecedented in terms of contract security versus demonstrated NBA ability. The gap between the investment and the return has never been wider, and until the production catches up, if it ever does, that gap is going to define everything about this conversation. The Bronny James scam hasn't just gone too far, it's rewriting the rulebook for what nepotism looks like inside the most competitive basketball league on the planet. And the NBA is just letting it happen.